And we're live. All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Everybody. My name is Vali Sako, and I'm here. Welcome to the podcast. First episode of my podcast. Uh, that's weird. That's weird to me. To film this podcast, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not used to do that. To do this, I'm not used to do this in English because it's not my first language. Here, we're gonna be talking about like mostly mindset stuff, entrepreneurial stuff, things uh, that make your path to success easier. Because what I'm trying to do right now, first of all, let me present myself. I'm an ex-personal trainer. Actually, still am a personal trainer. And by the way, all the things that you saw in the title thumbnail, if I uploaded this, it will be in this podcast. Right? You're going to get uh, what you were advertised. So I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, let me present myself here. Right, I'm really not used to do this kind of podcast. I'm used to just film quick, short videos, straight to the point. Right now, I have a lot of things in mind to speak about, but really not just a real point to get to. So we'll see where it ends up folding to. So let me breathe. I'm just a little stressed out. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. All right. So who am I? My name is Vali Sako, and I'm a personal trainer. I was a personal trainer full time. Now I'm just training the mayor of a city next to me, next to my city, because I live in France, and um, so I got back into training because uh, I was I couldn't anymore work on my business because my business was an online business. I was running an e-commerce store, right? E-commerce stores, and I couldn't work anymore because I worked too much. So I have a bunch of things to tell you not to do because of the mistakes I did. One of them being not work, do not work 12 hours a day for long periods of time because if you do, you will suffer. You will suffer a lot. Right now, I'm just trying to heal my hands, and while I heal my hands, I got back into training. Now, why did I get into e-commerce? I'm gonna tell you this story is a pretty fun one and pretty. Uh, this is one of the best things that I think happened to me, and it's all because I've put myself out there. You know, guys, when you have a desire, a want, a goal of yours, try to you know how people say you manifest things. Well, I actually just kind of did that, but it was not like a woo woo thing. It's just like I put myself out there. I put my services of as a PT, as a personal trainer, right, out like online. And one guy reached to me. One of my first clients was a guy in e-commerce. I didn't know that. I just took him and just trained him, give him like a lot of value. And when you give a lot of value to people, they are appreciative. Like the reciprocity is actually a real thing. Like you learn about it in influence and uh, by influence something a book. Anyway, the rule of reciprocity in humanity. This rule is really like actually it actually works. It actually happens in life. When you give a lot to people, they want to give you back things. And this is what happened with my one of my first clients. I would just was training him and really giving him a lot of value about just how to train. Really wanting him to progress, you know, toward his goals. He had a problem with his shoulders, so he couldn't train normally. I had to just personalize the training for him, and I did that. He saw I was like really hard worker, disciplined. I was always on time, not wasting his. And because of this, and also I was like, he was also an entrepreneur, right? And I was an entrepreneur too, for not that long ago, before I had him as a client, but I was enough in the game so that I knew how to be more productive and have a lot of valuable things to add, to tell him, so that he could just better his life, better his business, make him more money, maybe, even though I was not making a lot of money at all at that time. And when you give a lot like this, I was giving a lot, like without really caring. He was paying me like $35 an hour, like which is really not a lot. if you live here as a personal trainer, like this is really not a lot. It was like my starting point, right? My starting price when I was actually still a student. I was actually still a student in a college, getting my degree as a personal trainer, as a certified personal trainer. And so when I trained him like this for quite a while, for a few months, he was like telling me, why don't you start an e-commerce store? Like, why do you not do this? Because I knew about it. He told me and talked to me about how he was doing e-commerce and everything. I was like, oh yeah, I know about this. Oh, you're doing this on Shopify and everything. I was like, okay, why are you doing like, why a personal trainer when you know how to do this? Because like this makes me a lot more money than I'm paying you right now. And so I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I was like, just I like helping people. I like, actually feeling the sense of, I'm training him, I'm helping you progress towards your goals, helping you be in shape, which is actually one of the best things that you could do, right? Being in shape, being actually healthy, right? Which I'm realizing right now even more because I got obsessed with my business and I hurt my hands, I hurt my health. Basically, I just didn't focus on that because I was so focused on business. Don't do this. Implement in your life, like really health systems and stuff of this nature, because if you don't, you will suffer a lot. That's the least that I can say. And you don't want your goals anymore when your health is not in the context anymore. So when you give a lot like this, he was telling me like, why? I was like, I don't know. And then he was like, no, get in. You want us to start something together? I was like, well, you're making more money than me. Right, why not? No, I forgot. No. This is not the story. This is not the exact story. He was like, we were talking about money. And because this happened, what I just talked about happened, but like in a different scenario. Because the tilting point was that I was training him at his Airbnb. Actually, he was living in an Airbnb for like months. He didn't care about money, right? Because he was making a lot of money, which I didn't know at the time. I didn't know how much. I know he was making a lot of money because he told me he spent like something like 50K in Monaco. Like, I don't know if you know, like in South France, it's pretty, a lot of wealthy people there. And he was he spent 50K in a week. I was like, It was like, bro, do you know, like, is this a lot of money? Like, I was like, well, according to a lot of people, I think a lot of would think that 50K in a week of spending is quite a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't know why I spent this much on the week. I was like that. You gotta enjoy life. I was like, well, you're right. You're right. I was like dizzy with, 50K a week. I'm not making this in a year. And I was then going at his Airbnb, training him, and at this point he was like kind of drinking, and so I went there and he was like kind of a little drunk, a little dizzy. And we were talking about money, and the conversation went, and I was telling him like, well, yeah, the people in my class don't think it's possible to make more than 10K a month. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, I know, man. Wait a second. Come here. I'm going to motivate you a little bit, bro. We went on his desk, and his desk was just like a table, right? Just flat table, nothing more. He had his computer, like actually had three computers on there, and laptops. And he opened his Stripe account. If you guys don't know what a Stripe account is, it's just a process of payments. When you just pay online, it just gets into the way you receive payments online is by this processor, then it goes to your bank account, right? It's Stripe. And he was showing me his Stripe account. He was showing me like he was making 10K, between 9.5K to 13K, not a month, a day. And this was like, when I saw that, I was like, he was showing me like 3 past month, and he was like hitting refresh, right? And I was like, okay, I need to capture that. I need to read. I was opening and closing my eyes, just like intentionally, just to get it. Oh, okay, I can't forget that. And when I saw this, I was like, what? The math makes it like, oh, you're making like at least 100K profits a month. All right, I think I'm doing this. I think I'm going to be doing this. And then, he asked me if I wanted to launch something together. And I was like, well, you know more about this than I do. Why wouldn't I? So I just, okay, let's go. We launched two stores together. Of course, like the two stores don't work at all, no success whatsoever. But I learned a bunch. He was like kind of my mentor, right? Indirectly, I was PTing him, like I was like his personal trainer, but he was my mentor in e-commerce, right? In digital marketing, we were running ads, Facebook ads mostly, and he taught me how to, like, I just worked with him, right? Even though I didn't really work with, I worked remotely with him, right? We were talking on the phone and just like telling each other, okay, what kind of stuff we need to do. Mostly he was telling me, okay, we need to do this, that, and I just did what he said. And when he told me things, I just like, okay, I understand a little bit more how he works. And when you understand how, like, he was like in urgency, he was like doing stuff rapidly, like fast, and that's how I was like, okay, this is not the way I work. All right, he wants me to do something that he expects it to be done really fast. And I was like, okay, I need to work fast. I need to be urgent. And so I was like, okay, let's go. He taught me a bunch of things. He also gave me a course, and I learned a lot. I also, while I was not yet working with him, I was like, I need to like learn a lot about marketing, because at this point I was sold on marketing. I was sold like on selling and just being able to actually mostly market and direct marketing mostly. Branding, I didn't know too much about this at that time, and I was like, okay, I need to learn a lot with him. I need to do whatever he tells me to do, I'm doing, and I'm just trying to remember everything that he tells me to do so that I just can do it again then. And actually, before he asked me to launch two stores with him, not at the same time, like eventually. I tried a bunch on my own. I was getting some traction, but like I really didn't have the skills necessary to do it. Like I knew I got a few sales. I couldn't be profitable on ads. I was spending a few hundreds of euros a month, and was really not getting away because I was scared of spending money. I didn't have much money. I was a student. I'm broke. Like, what do you want me to spend money on? Like, when I'm not sure that the money's coming back. I don't have the skills. I don't have nothing. So I was spending really not a lot of money. And when he worked with me, he unlocked a lot of things. Like, he just, a lot of limiting beliefs he broke. A lot of ways I didn't know how to do something, he just proved me wrong in a lot of ways, right? And this is what happened when you're working with a mentor. So I would encourage you guys to just put yourself out there, just like I did. I was like, just okay, I had an offer online. That's it. Not even on my website. I was registered on a platform, on a website that just gathered, just kind of sort of an agency, but like a reference referring site, SEO thing that when you Google online, like, personal trainer at this city, it pops up. So I popped up, right? Because I was registered on this site, and I wrote something, an offer, and just it was like, yeah, this dude seems more legit than others. He just like, actually, I think it's like pure luck, because I just put that myself out there. I was thinking, I wanting to start a business. I didn't know where to start. I had no idea, and then he reached to me. Like, this is like legit. Like, this is not like just pure randomness. Like, it's actually you trying like to put yourself out there and just attracting kind of like, I really believe that. you attract what you think about. Like you wanted something, you put yourself out there in a way that it's possible for you to get, some visibility, some just, for something to happen. And when you put yourself like this, things happen. Things happen to me. Then we went and launched 2 stores together. Both of them didn't work, but the thing that I just learned a lot, like I said. And I learned, the most important things that I learned, I think, are that when you have an idea, when you have things to do, you just do them quickly. And it's worth a lot when you do them quickly. When you just, like, boom, you follow through what you say you're going to do, like, really fast. This is one of the major things, I think. Also, delegation, even though I didn't apply this at all when I worked on my own, because I didn't have the money. I was scared, like, a lot to lose money. I didn't have much, so I was scared to lose money. I was scared, like, oh my God, I'm going to have to go and maybe get a job because I won't have the time to get clients as a personal trainer to be able to get back the money and everything. Like, it was just a mess. And so I just was scared of losing money. And because of this, I just did everything on my own. Now, with this comes some benefit when you do just everything on your own. And I do believe that when you start a business, you need to be able to do most things in the business all on your own, to be able to, like, just not really good. You can do one thing really good, like it's the T-shape model. Like, you just have a base, have a foundation to a lot of things, and you excel in one. You are really, really good in one, and you have a base, you have a foundation for everything in this, so that you are able to actually delegate like good. Because if you can't, actually, I think it's most practical this way. It's the best way to go about it, but it's not an obligation, because actually I don't think he had really a base in all the things that he delegated. For example, editing the ads, like, he had no idea how to edit an ad. He would just delegated it, and this is why his ads were actually, like, not as well edited as mine, because I did it on my own. I learned how to do it, and my ads were better than him, but he was making hundreds because he was excelling in storytelling. That's what his skill was, and he taught me the skill. So I used it, and I used it to create ads with stories. And when he showed me that, I just trained a lot writing text, like writing stories, like just drafting. A lot of them were really not good. I was like, even he was like, yeah, that's good, bro, but, like, I don't think it's going to work on it, trying to be nice about it. I knew he was, like, really not buying it. So after that, I just tried, and it ended up starting to get some traction. Actually, fun story. Let me drink a little bit of water before. Fun story. He showed me how to write stories, and showed me how to actually copy other stories and make them your own, so that when you copy other people's styles of copywriting, you get better at copywriting yourself. And this is exactly what I did. I copied, like, I actually wrote word for word what the copy of a storytelling story was, of storytelling, of story, simply, of a story was, and I'll write it down. I just highlighted what the stories were about, like what the different sections were. I just knew what kind of part I just needed to do for my own company, for my own brands, so that I just could sell as much. I just wanted to make a really efficient ad, and so I did that, and it works. It didn't work at first, I think, but I just revised it and like modified it, worked back on it, and at one point it got some traction, and I was at I made my first $500, €500 a day when I was at the beach. I was on vacation with my parents actually. And I was literally at the beach swimming. Actually, like a wave just threw me back, like in the ground of the water, like really bad. I had like, like almost was happy I didn't have a concussion, right? Something like really big. I was really dizzy. I just like I had it bad, and I then at 5 p.m. I just checked my phone and just show, oh, I made 500 euros of sales today. It was about like 300 euros of profit. I was like, okay, that's the most amount of money that I made without working at all. I was like, wow, that's great. And then I just kept going. I just, even on vacation, I just was like, I was supposed to take a holiday, right? To take a time off, but I didn't really. I think there's a video about it on my channel. You can go and watch it if you want. And this holiday, I just was like, okay, I need to figure out how to make it work. I didn't have the skill at the time to make it work long term, right? And so I just kept working, not working really efficiently, and working actually just maybe 3 or 4 hours a day, just really efficiently to make the most amount of progress and just try to scale that because it was working right now. I sent a message to my friends, my old clients that became my friend, that mentored me and showed me how to create and to do e-commerce in general. He told me, bro, it's working right now, go all in. I was like, okay, I'm listening to you. I will go all in. And I went, and I figured like I need to write emails. I needed to do everything because I was doing all of the work myself. None of it was delegated. None. Like at this point, I didn't even delegate for the website code. Like all the things I tried to learn myself and do because I was so scared of losing money. I was so scared of just wasting money, and just I didn't know even how to tell people how to do what I wanted them to do. So I just didn't delegate. I was like, this is too much of a brain catastrophe. I just have too much on my plate already. I can't handle managing some other people. Like I can't. I don't have the skills. I don't have the knowledge. I don't have the will, and I don't have the money. I'm scared of losing it. So when I was doing all the things myself, it just basically like didn't work too well because I was spreading myself too thin. What I should have done was focusing on the ads, focusing on one part of it, of the business I was good at. It was actually copywriting, marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, and this is why actually I think I'm going to go all in on that, but maybe I'll talk about it later. And I figured like I need to learn from this as much as possible. I had a lot of data. Some of it was crude because I didn't know how to make it clear. I was like changing a lot of things at the same time, not making really scientific tests, if you know what I mean. Like I was like testing 2 things at one time, which just made it impossible for me to know which thing actually got the result. So I just was, data was a little like, not really useful to me. The data of the ads and of the, CRO, campaign, like conversion rate optimization. And so where was I? I was talking about, the ads were not working anymore because I didn't have the proper skills to just understand, okay, this is not working. Also, I made a mistake on Facebook ads, and I did all those mistakes, and it was just really rewarding. I was actually making money. I was actually getting paid to make mistakes and learn. So this is what's like really an incredible experience. And I was like, okay, I'm all in right now on e-commerce. I'm all in on digital marketing. I'm all in on just putting ads out like online and selling things, because this is actually making me more money than personal training. So I just did that, and I kept trying. It started to get some traction, pretty good traction. I don't know how like transparent I want to be, uh, like around how much money I made and how I'm going to make. Like honestly, I don't really care right now of telling you how much I was making and I'm still making, but I'm scared that I just get to this habit of telling everybody everything, and I don't know how I'm going to handle it when I start just getting a lot of traction. So because I think it's like kind of dangerous to put yourself out there too. I don't know if I want to do this just right now. Maybe later, when I'll be able to, I'll have so much money. Like if I'm making like millions and millions, I'll be able to figure stuff out to not be, too much in danger because of showing what I have or how much I make. Which actually right now I'm just not making much at all because I'm just not working on any brands. I'm just like actually PTing the mayor of my clients, the mayor of a city around me. So it's pretty cool because he's a mayor, and it's just like it feels like I'm just getting a little bit of status out of this, but like it's really not that big of a deal. Also, yeah, I have absolutely no idea what I was going to say. Well, we've been going about 26 minutes. I'm really tired. I don't really have the I'm not used to talk that much, like really not. So I want to end the day, but I won't because I just told myself I will make at least about an hour, right? So I'll go a little bit longer than this. But I have some more interesting stories to tell you, I think, and things that you will benefit from. I'm taking a course right now, a course that I bought, I think a month or 2 months ago, because I couldn't, like, it's been 4 months since I haven't been working on my business because of my hands. My hands hurt. I have like big inflammation because I work too much on the computer. I work too much on the desk, and like I have inflammation, right? It won't stop hurting until I just really heal fully. And so this needs rest, a lot of rest, which I'm not comfortable doing. Like really the actual uncomfortable things for me to do is just to sit and do nothing. Like really this is like I feel like I'm just wasting my time. I just should get on the opportunity. I feel like my competitors are just crushing me. Actually maybe they are. That's the harsh reality that maybe I don't want to see. And you just don't want to do this. I promise. Like don't work 12 hours a day on the computer, like working with your hands and not taking care of your health. No. Take care of your health is the first priority. I'm not saying just don't do that for a week or two because you absolutely have to. But like for like multiple weeks, you just don't want to do this because then it just becomes impractical. Because right now I'm stopped. I'm stuck. Another thing that I want to talk about was I'm taking a course because I was like, I have time on my hands right now, so why not do something useful out of it, right? Which is not necessarily the right thing to do because I end up still using a little bit of my hands, so I'm not fully healing, I'm not fully doing something that's productive, so it's kind of a mess, and right now I'm trying to solve that. But I took a course on networking. That's weird. Networking? What is networking? Like it's just like maybe I think most of the English world, English speaking world knows about this. I don't think in France it's just that popular. So I took a course on networking just because I'm not really socially the most comfortable guy. I don't really, even though I'm a personal trainer, like I know how to train people, I don't know how to speak really well. I don't know how to engage in conversations fluently, right, in the right way, and being really comfortable with this and approaching people publicly, public speaking. I'm not good at this. Right now I'm not comfortable doing this a podcast because I'm not used to do this. I'm not used to speak a lot. I'm not used to, even though it feels like I'm rambling a lot. I'm not used to do this. I'm not an extrovert, right? I'm an introvert. Maybe an introvert kind of, sometimes I can go and become an extrovert, but like really for short periods of time because my energy just gets drained a lot. So I took this course and I wanted to make progress on it. And so I just actually just watched and applied. And this is the way you want to go about learning and progressing to the things that you want to learn. You want to take an information that you know is right? You pay for it, you go online, you search, and you either pay for it, either see that online it's free and it's just actually useful, actually like right, and you apply it. That's the way to go. But how do you go about applying it? It's just like when you hear like verbs, do this, do that. Okay, you need to take this and write it down, send this at this time. You know, the verbs that are used by the person that speaks, you just actually implement them. I know it feels basic, like I didn't do this. And I think most people don't. And this is why they're not just actually applying the information that they get. So they just don't get the result that they want. Because if you did apply every like verb that I just advise you to do, you would actually get the results. And especially if you did them in the way that they described it. So that every word that just comes out of the mouth of the guy that just, you know, the course creator, just apply it. And I did that by just taking notes. Everything that he said, I was taking notes. And so at one point he told us to do a challenge, a 30-day challenge. I didn't actually do the 30 days because I started on the just, you know, higher level, because I was actually comfortable just smiling to people, because this was the challenge. The challenge was just going outside and talking to people. And when talking to people, you need to engage in new conversation, right? And just go and say hi to people outside, right? People that you don't know, people that you have nothing to do with, people that just don't want to speak to you. You need to go outside and just tell them hi and smile. Look at them. First, I think the first level was, you know, look at them and smile. Then look at them, smile, say hello in French. So, you know, the course was in French too. And the next level was asking for the time, right? So, excuse me, hi, what time is it? And you act like you don't have your phone on yourself, because then it's just weird. Like, why would you ask for the time if you have your phone on yourself, right? So there's not a lot of people that don't have their phone on yourself, so you need to make up an excuse, right? I forgot my phone just died, you know, whatever. And you ask them, and you ask, first of all, 5 people, 10 people, 15 people in the next days, you know. And when you actually reach the point of you are making repetition, like you are just, the quantity of the things that you do increases, you see the most amount of results. Like at first you need to just, like, the first point of like major progress is just starting. When you start, you make a lot of progress. Then the next point is increasing the quantity of the things that you do. Like, you do one thing really simple, you make it a lot of times, right? Then you add friction. You just decrease the amount of quantity that you do, you increase the quality, so the difficulty of the things that you do. So you don't just ask for the time, you ask for open questions, right? What do you think about this? Hey, sorry, I'm asking for something. I'm asking for people if they think, you know, doing physical activity is important for them. I was asking this to people, and they were answering, and was like more difficult. And in this more difficult thing, you just increase the quantity of things, of the amount of action that you do. You just see a lot of progress. You become, you know, at first when you go up to someone and you just have one person in mind, and this one person you need to talk to them, and you know, you want to, for example, let's say you go for to talk to a girl and you ask for a number, right? You go just to one girl. Like, it seems like difficult. If you've never done that before, you're stressing out. You have almost like you don't know what to say. You have no idea how to do this, and just, you know, you're stressing out. Once you do this like 10 times in a row, like real fast, you increase like the amount of actions that you take in a small period of time. It becomes really easy. It becomes like it's natural. It becomes like it's like, I don't know if you know, but I think you know about Alex Hormozy. Alex Hormozy is said in one of his videos. He talks about how when you like the frame, I think he calls it this way, the frame of the veteran. I think this is it. And you imagine just doing the thing that you don't want to do right now, doing the thing that just makes you scared right now a lot of times. Imagine doing this every day, hundreds of times, every single day. Imagine how it would feel. Imagine how it would feel like the 1000th time, right? It would feel like it's normal. It would feel like it's just like an easy thing to do because you've done it so many times. It's just not, there's no reason to stress out about, right? And so this is why increasing the quantity of the things that you do, like, just brings you astonishing results, astonishing amount of progress, and astonishing return on investment. Because when you do the quantity, it just like decreases your like, you're not stressed about it anymore. Like when I was going to 15 people a day, talking to strangers outside, just actually like I was a salesman. Like I was a salesman just to get people's answers on my questions. And it's just like at the beginning it felt like kind of hard, right? Just starting. Then it felt like a little bit easier going like on, like second, third person, fourth person. And then at the 10th time it's like really easy. Just going like everybody, you don't care. Just going to everybody, you take a no problem. You just go there, you just ask. They have you have great conversation with someone. You're just actually comfortable doing this because you've done it a lot of times, right? Repetition makes you so comfortable in so many things. I really encourage you to just take one thing that you think might get you results that you want. Something that makes you uncomfortable to do. Something that just scares you to do, just like this podcast. Actually, I was scared to film this podcast a little bit because I just don't know how to speak for long periods of time. I have no idea how to do this. I'm just like really like thirsty right now. My throat is really like, I can't speak for long periods of time. I don't know why. I've never done it. Maybe this is why. And maybe if I did that every single day, it will be way easier, right? So this is why this is the thing that just was the most important thing for me in this course up until now. I didn't finish it. Was not the networking thing. It's just like actually this like shift in mindset that I had. Just the realization of the frame of the veteran that Alex Hormozi was talking about. I didn't really apply it when Alex talked about it because I didn't pay for it. So I paid for this course and he told me to do this. So I just like, I paid for this. Like, all right now I'm going to do everything that he says. And so I just applied it. And when I applied it, guess what? I've experienced the result. So right now it's just like a frame shift. Like one of my beliefs, maybe my false beliefs was broken. And because of this, I just now have the awareness that I can make a lot of repetition in something and get really better at it and get really way less scared than I was at the beginning. So that's really something that just I learned in this course that's really, really useful. One other thing that I learned is that I knew most of the things in this course. I knew like 99% of the, maybe not 99, 80 to 90% of the course up until now. I didn't finish it. I already knew. Like I've read it in How to Win Friends and Influence People. Great book, tremendous book. Like if you actually applied it, you would be successful in some way. But I didn't apply fully How to Win Friends and Influence People because I didn't pay for it. I was not really engaged in it. I paid for this course. Because I paid, I actually applied. So the thing that just makes you like, it makes you think like when you actually pay for things, the more you pay for something, the more value you get, like inherently. Not because of there was more things in the course that you bought, not just because if it costs $2,000 instead of $1,000, you actually get more value because you actually have way more probability in your mind of actually applying the course. Now, if you are like a multimillionaire and you just pay $2,000 instead of $1,000, it might not make that big of a difference. But it makes you perceive the value a little higher. And because it makes you perceive the value higher value, you get actually more value just because of the perception. Now, the perception that you have is actually what you get. The way you see things is actually how they are to you. Because you see them this way, you are actually going to behave in a certain way that is going to make this come true. if you actually believe, like this is the thing, like if you actually believe you can make $1 million a year, you are actually more probable to make $1 million a year than if you didn't believe that you could, because you are actually going to take the actions for that. And if you don't believe, you are not. So this also made me like actually understand more, because I knew about this, I didn't really understand it fully to its full extent. And yeah, one other thing that I want to talk about is your health, like actually putting systems in, because I'm all in on that. And right now, this is all I think about. I think about how to solve my personal problems. I think about how to, heal, heal, and I also realize that just you are the bigger factor in your growth and in the growth of your business. This might be common sense, but when you are in it, you are in the business, you are actually doing things, you don't see it. You don't have this, bird view of things. And when you don't have this bird view of things, you don't make the right calls. You don't make the right decisions. The way I just describe this bird view, I just really try to see it like this. And when you see it like this, you start to realizing, okay, there's one component spot of all the progress that you want to make in your life, everything that's happening in your life. Imagine it. There's you. There's other parts of you, all the multiple parts of you, right? There's you. There's your social life, your health, your professional life, your personal growth, whatever, and maybe your hobbies. There are a lot of things about you. Then there's your business. And in your business, there's a lot of things: marketing, sales, whatever. And you affect a lot your business. You are actually the bigger factor, the biggest variable of your business, because you actually do the most amount of things in your business, especially at the beginning. And because of this, I just right now really understand and really realize that I first need to solve my own problems first. You and each and every single one of us have personal problems. I have personal problems, psychological problems, mental problems, physical problems, relationships problems, like character traits that we lack, a lot of things that we lack, and sometimes we're not aware of. And those cause way more problems and hold you back way more in your business and any goal that you want to achieve than anything else. It's just you are holding you back. You and your problems hold you back way more than anything else. And the reason why is that just because everything depends upon you, right? It's just logical, right? Everything it's really, really logical, but you don't really think about it just because you don't see actually what's happening and what's not. So anyway, I think this podcast is really great right now. I think I'm going to stop right now. If you like this podcast, if you actually are seeing it, hopefully you just like and subscribe and watch and listen to some other of my podcasts if I upload them. Hopefully this was great. And I'll talk more about how to solve your own personal problems, because I think that this is the most the most amount of progress you could make in your life is by solving your personal problems. Because if you solve your personal problems, most likely there are some other people that have similar problems to yours. And if there are similar people that have similar problems to yours, you'll be able to solve this problem for them too and advise them on this. So you get a lot of experience, you get to solve your own problems, so you just actually feel better about yourself. You feel better because you don't have those problems. You have more time, you have more better health, better everything. And you also have a solution that people might want and need and desire. And so maybe you have an idea of a business. So I think really you should solve your personal problems before anything else. Just try to make a list of all the problems that you have right now in your life. Everything that's just not how you would want it to be in your life. Whatever it is. And most of the things that you will discover is that a lot of things come down to your beliefs, false beliefs, fears, and yeah, a lot of things that you do that you shouldn't do, right? This is not like you don't necessarily need to do more things. You need to stop doing things that you are already doing that just prevents you. It just makes you waste time and prevents you to achieve your goals. A lot of those things that you don't do that you should do, well, you are not doing them because you are because of fear. You are scared of doing them. You are afraid, and so you need to break that fear, break the cycle. And by just to do that, all you need to do is just actually like get exposed to it, I think, and get exposed as fast as possible. You know, there's a rule in the course that I'm learning from, the 3-second rules, right? The 3-second rule, and this rule just tells you that when you have an intention of doing something, you just need to do it in the 3 first seconds. If you don't do it in the three first seconds, you start getting in your mind. You start getting anxiety, like you don't know, should I? Is it okay? Oh, you start thinking about it, and then you don't do it. Then you get stressed out. If you do it after that, you don't do it as well as you would have if you do it before the 3 seconds pass. Because there's a thing also that at first, when you go through uncomfortable situation, right, you want to progress. What is progress? Well, progress is that at first you're scared of doing something. You still do it, you struggle, and then you start feeling better because you feel like you're making progress. And then, even though you struggle, and then you start feeling like super good about yourself because you're at this place of fulfillment. Like really, you feel good about yourself, right? You feel like, oh my God, I did that even though I was scared of doing it. And this is the moment that it feels the best. So I would really encourage you to do this. And when you, for example, if you want to approach a girl that you like, you want to ask for the number, right? And if you do it under the 3-second rule, because it's way easier. Like you won't think about it, you just will go naturally, and you won't really think too much about yourself and, oh, is it okay? Is it like, oh my God? You will not get into your head, and this is way easier to do things like this. Anyway, I'll talk more about this. Fear, false beliefs, and things that you're doing. Those 3 things are really holding you back most of the time. For me, it's the case. I'm trying to solve my personal problems right now. Here, it's written like I need to solve my personal problems. I'm just taking the time to think and to ask myself why I have those problems, to just figure out the root cause of those problems. I think I talked about this in one of my videos on my YouTube channel, Ivali Sako. If you don't follow me there, maybe I'll have a YouTube channel there for you to just go and watch. If I upload often on this podcast, well, follow me, and hopefully you have a great time listening to me talking and rambling and just trying to get outside my comfort zone to just be more comfortable talking in front of the camera for long periods of time. It's been 48 minutes. I'll salute you. Bye.